Congratulations on making it to the end of the first week of the First Impressions module in Charisma University. A lot of people do not make it this far with any program that they started. So give yourself right now a nice little pat on the back. And I'll wait here for a second. Go ahead. I'm trusting that you did that. That was part of the action guide. But anyway, if this is your First Impressions module and that is the student that you are, the level of access at First Impressions, this is where the program ends for you. And what I recommend is going through today, doing the action guide, and if you'd like to, you can of course go back and recomplete the course. It's intended to be able to do more than one time in order to really firmly establish those habits. If, on the other hand, you are a complete Charisma University member, don't go back just yet because there is a lot more for you to do. Of course, this is a 6-week core module program plus bonuses, so what's up for you next is the confidence module. And you have two choices. You can either take off, have a weekend, if today is Friday for you, take Saturday and Sunday, spend time with the family, mow the lawn, whatever it is that you need to do, and come back to the course on Monday. Or if you're like me and your schedule isn't really 5 days on, 2 days off, where you have a tremendously different ability to connect with new people during the week and then you're kind of off on the weekends, if that's not the case for you, you might just want to jump right into the confidence module tomorrow. I leave that choice to you based on your preferences if you'd like a rest and if you're going to have an ability to just about every day of the week interact with people so that you're able to practice what it is that we're focusing on. For now though, we're going to stick with what we are doing today on the final day of First Impressions. We've talked about developing fun, trust, respect, turning that interest on the other person in a genuine way. What we're coming to now is the real part where you individuate yourself. Because of course, all kinds of charisma are not the same. And even beyond that, all kinds of people are not the same. And what we don't realize is that the type of person that we become and the type of charisma that we often exude in the world isn't necessarily our innate essence. It sometimes is just the kind of person that we were when we were in middle school. What we don't realize is that the patterns of behavior that we have, whether we consider ourselves introverted or extroverted, whether we find ourselves to be sharp-witted and funny or a little bit more slow and mellow, those things are really oftentimes patterns that we picked up as children and that really solidified around middle school. And we can sometimes go our entire lives without shifting those patterns, and we can believe that that is who we truly are and that there is no other way of being, and any other way would be false. My own experience and of other people is that that identity, which I would describe as the middle school identity, is not who you are at your essence. That you can try different things like different sense of humor, connecting as opposed to being the person who's always the center of attention, maybe someone who is a little bit more one-on-one in their style of charisma. Whatever it is, you can try these different styles of charisma on and see that there will be some of them that will really resonate with you much more than others. And I would propose that it's not the one that you happen to wind up with after the trials and tribulations of adolescence, but the one that really clicks with you, that is more who you are. So I want to talk about a few different styles of charisma today. In fact, there are 5 of them. But before I do, I want to encourage you not to make a mistake in going down the wrong path with this. Because if you pick a style that you think is the cool guy, as I did when I was about 19-year-old, bad things can happen. And that's why cool guy isn't a style that we're going to be talking about today. But I thought that the way to be when I was 19 was cool. I'd been a shy kid for most of my life. I didn't want to get walked over. I was very accommodating, and people didn't respect me. So I decided, you know what? No more of this. I'm not going to be the person that they walk over. I'm not going to take any guff from anybody. And this coincided with a trip abroad. I studied abroad, same trip that I mentioned yesterday where I visited Ben in London. And that meant that my sense of humor became a lot more biting. It was oftentimes at someone's expense. It also meant that when people asked me if I would do them a favor, I felt as if it was them trying to control me, and I would resist, not do the favor, make a sassy comment about it, generally not being very helpful. And it came to a head one day when we were in a museum, and a girl said something, and I kind of gave her one of those one-line zingers that I'd been doing for 2 months, and she just flipped. She went off and screamed at me in this museum. And I remember just being there going, oh my God, I can't believe this is occurring in a silent museum. But that made an impression on me. And it told me, you know what? This cool guy way of being maybe isn't the best. And so I want to encourage you, as you're thinking of, don't think of which of these is the coolest. See which of these connects with you. There luckily isn't one that I think is going to make anybody a jerk. There is no cool guy persona that we're talking about. But don't pick the one that you think would make you the most famous or whatever. Pick the one that really seems to connect with the way that you would like to be, more even than how you would like other people to respond to you. So that takes us now to the 5 different styles of charisma.